What's going on? Jake here with Uncommon EDC, and today I'm checking out a Kaviso exclusive variant of the Boker Kwaiken Air. What makes this version exclusive are these Purple Rain scales by Fat Carbon, and they came out really nice. Kind of super stunning, especially when they hit the right light. As I kind of move it around, hopefully that's picking up well on camera. But each of these scales is going to be somewhat unique just because of the randomness. I guess I shouldn't say somewhat. I think they're all going to be 100% unique in that no two scales are going to be the same. So even as I flip over to the backside on the same knife, it's not going to be a mirror image just because these are kind of, again, random and each one's going to have a different pattern. But looks really good. I don't think the pictures do it justice online. It looks great in person, and hopefully the camera's picking that up. It is on a flipper tab with bearings, so the action's excellent on these, and it's a pretty good sized knife despite being so thin. It is a 5.875 inch handle, so you can get full 4-finger grip with plenty of room to spare, even if you have larger hands. The blade is going to be a 3.54 inch blade with VG10 steel and 0.09 inches thick. And overall, it lands at 8.39 inches. And for such a long knife, it's super lightweight at 2.88 ounces. Kind of a general rule of thumb I think people go by is about an ounce an inch, and so this definitely comes in under that since the blade's at just over 3.5 inches and it only weighs 2.88 ounces. So definitely would be considered lightweight for a size. And just feels really good in the hand, and it feels super lightweight. There's no real weight there. You barely notice it in the hand. And the pocket clip kind of disappears there as well, which is a deep carry right-hand tip-up pocket clip. It is not reversible, unfortunately, so left-handers are, I guess, out of luck there. I'm not someone who uses a pocket clip a ton, but if you are, definitely something to take into consideration. And the knife this probably most reminds me of is the CRKT CEO, which I have one right here. And so when you put them side by side, the Kwaiken Air is just slightly longer, but they're very similar in length and width. The Kwaiken Air is both longer and a little bit wider, but very similar. However, the big difference, I guess, is once you open it up, besides the deployment method, which is thumb stud on the CEO and the flipper tab on the Kwaiken, is the blade length here. So the CEO is probably more similar to the Kwaiken Air Mini, which I should mention, this is $115 over on Kaviso. The Kwaiken Air Mini is $109 and is a little over an inch shorter, so about the same length here as the CEO, which is why I actually went for the full size mainly. I was kind of going back and forth on which one I should pick up, but since I have a few different CEOs, I thought it made sense to get something a little bit different. Obviously, they're very different look-wise, but in terms of size. And so, one other major difference, I think, between the Kwaiken Air and the CEO for me is that Boker chamfered the liner here so that you're able to access the liner lock more freely. And it makes a pretty big difference. You're able to manipulate this very easily. And the action on these is great, very kind of drop shutty and fidgetable. The CEO, on the other hand, has the thumb stud deployment. The thumb stud is not the easiest to access, a little bit easier on this green micarta version than the original carbon fiber one. But the liner in particular is almost impossible to manipulate with the flat of your thumb. No matter how hard you try, you really can't get any purchase to push the liner down. And so the only way to do it is to kind of turn your thumb sideways and go into the thumb stud slot and push down with your fingernail. So it's not super intuitive on the CEO and not the easiest, making it a little bit not like the most fidgety knife, if that's something that's important to you. I guess that's not really the purpose of the CEO, but you want the liner lock to be kind of intuitive and natural, and it's not here. If you're not thinking about it, I usually go with the flat of my thumb first and then realize, oh yeah, on this knife I need to use my nail. So definitely a point in the Kwaiken's favor if we're comparing. Not really the point here, but just kind of wanted to take a first look at this. But overall, super happy with this knife so far. I do think it's a really nice design. I don't know if I mentioned Lucas Burnley Design. Obviously, the Kwaiken's been around for a long time, and there's a lot of different variants, not just in scale and steel material, but actual designs from it. I think there's like a stubby version, the original Kwaiken, the Kwaiken Air, and the Kwaiken Mini, and probably a bunch more that I'm not even aware of. But this is my first Kwaiken, so my first impression of it, and really great knife. Really enjoying it so far. And again, the Purple Rain scales by Fat Carbon look really, really good, and super pleased with how those turned out. One other thing to mention before I sign off here is it does seem to be serialized, which I have number 124. I don't know how many there are. I'm going to reach out to Kaviso after this to see if I can get an answer on that. It is a 4-digit number, so it's safe to assume there's at least 1,000, but it could be anywhere between 1,000 and 9,999, I guess. So if I do get an answer back from that, I'll update in the description down below just for anyone who's curious. But it is an exclusive, so I'm sure it's a limited run, and guessing that there is a number, but it's not listed on the website. So we'll try and find that out. But let me know what you think of this knife down in the comments. And also be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. But thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great one. Take care.